Hi everyone. Um, just have a dream. I had a dream last night that is feeling quite important to share. It's so short. It was such a glimpse of things to come. Um, but the dream, I'll explain the dream and then um, what I think it means. Uh, but yeah, happy to hear your comments as well. That'd be great. So the dream goes like this. So there are all these people standing in kind of a line, and there wasn't a lot of detail in the dream. Like they looked like they were punching each other, and it reminded me of the humiliation rituals that they do in the not Freemasons, where and those other groups where you see people with black eyes, um, and like if you look up images of when the Pope had a black eye and things like that, they're all in this little group together and doing whatever they're doing. I don't really understand it. But basically, Oprah Winfrey was in the dream, and I think she was punching. I'm not sure. It's pretty hazy, that part of it, but it was clear there was a line, and I was standing in front, looking at the line, and it was the line for the getting the mark of the beast. And so what it was saying was like I had a choice at that time. So and I remember my feeling and how I was feeling in the spirit, and I was completely and utterly determined not to get it. So there was not even any hesitation, but I was allowed in the dream to feel the sense of what it would be like, and I felt this great depth of um, I don't even know what you would call it. It was this depth of being alone, like because everybody else was in that line getting it, and I knew the consequences, and I knew that I'd be killed. I knew that was going to happen. And I literally, when I made my decision, which was pretty much straight away, I walked over to this spot and I was just on my own. Like there was no one near me. I was on my own, and then everyone else in the line was there. I had this feeling that I knew that they're going to come and pick me up and take me to wherever they were going to take me after that. Um, but it seemed somewhat of an anticlimax because I was waiting for them to come and pick me up, and no one was there at the time. So, there wasn't like a whole bunch of us there. I was literally just there. And I remember just feeling that relief at the end. Like I felt this insane amount of relief because I'd made my decision and there was no going back. There wasn't even an opportunity to go back if I wanted to. Um, and I was relieved, and then I was preparing myself for what was to come next. And so I had this like that was the the point of the dream, I believe, was that feeling of that relief, that feeling of okay, you're absolutely you're absolutely convinced, and there's a better word than that that's on the tip of my tongue, um, but it's like ingrained in your spirit, so you just can't go the other way. And it got me thinking, actually, like that was the dream. It was kind of weird that Oprah Winfrey was in it, but it was her. And I know she sides with all these evil so and so's. But yeah, I was just thinking about how it played out, and like thinking about the purpose of it, and it was like, God's gonna know in our spirit whether we would say yes or no, or whether we're a maybe. Like he, literally, the state of our spirit that we're in, like in our spirit without any conscious decision at all. Not us in our flesh where we go yes or no, but like our true self is going to make a decision, and that decision is ingrained within us. It's we've made that decision through our journey with God. And so that was the thing that really, I've been thinking a little bit about. I need to think about it some more, but it makes a lot of sense because one of the very first dreams I had, if you look back to my videos, I called it the Nathaniel dream. But I was asked to walk towards this temple, and this tiny little temple through this huge valley that now when I look at it, it looked like somewhere from the Bible, honestly. It looked like that Mount Sinai kind of area. It was beautiful, and it was one of the coolest dreams I've had, to be honest. And not being prideful or anything, just saying it was a really great dream. It was one of those dreams where I just would love to see that scenery again. And that was a bit similar. It was like a test, because in the temple there were people in the temple, and they were like all arrayed in red, and they were doing some sort of ritual. And I remember before I walked up into the building, I said, "Oh, they better not be doing some sort of ritual in here." And I saw them and I ran. When I opened there was like a material covering the entrance of the door that I sort of parted, and I looked through. It's kind of like the veil, right? And I looked through and I realized that they were evil, and I ran. And I started thinking about this recently, like, was that dream talking about the temple, like our internal temple? Like, was I crossing the line? Like, was I going beyond the line of my old life into this new life? Or was I running from that? Like, was I evading that? Was that dream, the purpose of that dream, to say that's where you're at in the spirit, crossing between that line now, that threshold? And so, it got me thinking last night when I had that dream that perhaps I've already made my decision. It doesn't matter what I make in the flesh, I've already made my decision. And the decision obviously is, I sided with good. I sided with God. I'm not going to side with evil. And that decision is in the spirit. And so, one thing I would say in that is, perhaps the thing to share about this dream is that we should all arrive at that point. We should all be at that point anyway. There shouldn't be a question. If there's a question or there's doubt, or if there's enough fear there to cause you to make the wrong decision or to decide to join in the line, then there's something you need to work on, because we shouldn't be at that state ever, But I think I was allowed to feel those emotions, because it really drew out the seriousness of it all. Like, it'll be a moment, be a moment where, however it all plays out in the future, near future, whenever, it'll be a really interesting time for the world, because, it'll be a time where people are so scared. Like, the average carnal person will be terrified, and they'll just be begging for their life, they'll be racing to get this thing so they can live, and we'll be slowly walking, to go no, and walking to your death, basically, if that's how it plays out. I don't know whether that dream was an indicator if that's my fate or not, or it was a message. I don't know. I shall pray on that. But yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know that, hey, being warned that that's coming. And when he says prepare yourself, I think that's what he's really getting at too. Is prepare yourself. So think about these things, and it's not a positive dream, but it doesn't have to be a negative one either, because your redemption's coming. He told us this. He said, when all these things come to pass, look up, your redemption draws near. And it does. And whether it means you have to, have to sort of progress through the storm, hold strong through the storm, which, lately everything's been leading me to that. While I've always believed in being taken, like with the bride, which is the city of, building the city of the New Jerusalem. I also understand that there's timings for these things, and I think everyone is going to have to go through something before that. Whether it's right at the start of all of that, I don't know. But he does say those who endure to the end. And I've tried to piece together a firm opinion on all of this, and I still have a fluid opinion on things, because I'd have to spend another couple of years, honestly, digging and diving to be satisfied, because nothing that anybody's presented to me has gelled. Put it that way. Nothing that anyone has ever said or presented has, from start to finish, gelled with me. Everyone who's presented their case forward, there's always been a giant hole in it. And so I've just on this journey to understand, and I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying that, I can't trust anybody else to just tell me what's going to happen. I want to find out for myself from reading and understanding and going where the Spirit leads. And that's one thing I promise you on this journey is, if and this channel, is that you'll experience the highs and the lows as I do, because we're all learning, we're all seeking understanding. It's not about the end goal, about knowing the day or when. We're looking up, we're watching. That's the main thing. That's what we're asked to do. We're not told to find the day or the hour and to know it. We're told that we're commanded to watch and to and to help each other, and to ensure that we all are strong for these times that are coming. And I don't want to be caught unawares trusting in somebody entirely and just saying, well, this is what's happening on this date. I've got it all figured out. I can't trust that. I can't buy into that, because, even if I think I've got it figured out, like it's just a guide. It's a guideline. Doesn't mean that it's the thing to hold on to. I still hold firm that we should be doing all we can, to be in the Word, right? We should be in the Word as much as possible in this end time, and just to be warning others and to preaching the gospel to whoever we can. I've been thinking while I've been away about trying to reach some new groups of people, so I'm going to explore some options there, and just try and gather my thoughts, so when I get back home in a few days I can hit the ground running. And but I just wanted to share that dream with you today. I think it's important to know that these things are coming, and that's the first one I've had that in a while, actually, that focus on that topic. And I feel like that's a real prevalent thing. Like, we're just on the verge of that. That's coming very soon. I don't feel like that was far into the future at all. I think that was very soon. And so I'm here for another 3 or 4 days, I think. So I might do another video tomorrow morning, and out on the coastline when I've got some time on my own. And I'll do a bit of study now. I've got a bit of quiet time. And we'll see where it leads. Alright. God bless, guys. Remember, stay strong in the Spirit. Keep praying, fasting, reading our Bible. And just try and understand or think, maybe just meditate on this a little bit, on on this stream about what you would do, or what you think. How would you react in that situation? I know it's not nice to think about, but be sure in here, okay? And I feel pretty sure now, after having that dream, that I just need to keep building more strength and more layers on top of that. I need to keep strengthening that position, because that is the only position that I want to take. I don't want to get to the moment where fear overcomes me and all those things. And God won't let us fall. He won't let us fall. But we have to stay close to Him and in His Word, and we have to, we have to get to know Him as well. So I'm on that journey. All right. God bless, guys. Maranatha.